So to answer this question, first thing I want to do is mark out where my XY line is going to be. Got to the center of the page, I can draw in my XY line. It's looking for, in the question, a front elevation in the direction of arrow A, an end view in the direction of arrow C, and a plan view in the direction of arrow B. Because the arrow is coming from the right of the front elevation, I know that the end view is going to be over here on the left. So I want to go ahead and draw in a YY line. The first measurements I need on my front elevation, started over just to the side of that YY line a little bit. We've got 20 and 50. So 0.0, 20 and 50 from there gives a total of 70. As always, we're going to project those lines straight down, because those will also work as lines for our plan. These should be neat construction lines. Our heights in our front elevation, we're going to have 20, 70 is the total, 20 plus 70. So we're just going to measure those lines out. We need 20 plus 70 gives a total of 90 millimeters. There's also a measurement from the ground up of 65 over on the side there. So I'm just going to mark that in now. It'll save me a bit of time later. I know I can draw those lines right across. They're also going to be on my end view. So those lines drawn in. So now I can fill in the outline of the front elevation. Know that comes down there. The far side, I know it goes straight up to that 20 millimeter mark. I know I have a line along the base. And I know I have a line going along that 20 millimeter line. This triangular portion, face number 1, goes right up to the top. And then there's a top on it, like that. And surface labelled number 2 goes from the edge over here to this point up here, just 65 millimeters off the ground. So that's that done. I know this piece is labelled on the drawing number 1, and that this surface over here is labelled number 2. So I can go on to my plan, and I'm going to bring this line across. That's the baseline. This is the view looking down from B. I only need my ruler for another couple of measurements. I've got 20 millimeters from the back and it's a total of 80 millimeters to the front. So I can just mark them off. There's my 80 millimeter mark and 20 millimeters from the back. Those lines can be transferred right across. So I can draw that triangular portion. And I can draw the piece labelled number 1. It's right to the front. Now we've got a radius 30 millimeter arc on this. So I'm going to measure back 30 millimeters here. And then I'm going to use my compass. Transfer that point around, because that is also 30 millimeters from the other surface. Just need to correct the lead on my compass. Where those lines intersect, I know is the center of that arc. At that point. So keeping my compass as it is, set the point in the center of that and swing the arc around. So far, so good. So, pop that on and I can draw in that line. And I can go across with this line. Now I need a 45-degree line. Bring it down from here. Make sure it goes through all the lines that I've projected across from my plan. And those points then get projected straight up to the end view. This is looking in the direction of arrow C. Project these lines up. Actually, I can just infill on this. That is surface number 1. And that is surface number 2. So, what is this going to look like in the end view? Well, I know that this line is going to be continuous across, and the base line is going to be continuous across, and I know the top of this goes across. So those lines drawn in, and then I have the hard edge line. Another end line over here. This is going to be a slope somewhere here, and that line goes in there. Finally, I can link the top point here over to this point on the base. I can label that as surface 1, and I can label this, which is surface 2. The final thing I'll do is just highlight what views these are. That's view A, front elevation. Down here I've got view B, which is the plan, and over here I have view C. And I'll also label my XY line. And that's the drawing.